Ready to hit record?
I mean, I want to be reverent. I want to be reverent with my wax lips.
Reverent here at Grandpa Joe's in the Strip District.
We love it. This is John's favorite place. We literally called and begged to come in here because John comes here on a regular basis for everything. Right. He says Easter and what else? Valentine's Day. No, it's all the time.
Should I open up? No. Because we're behind the scenes this morning at Grandpa Joe's, and we always open up with a musician,
with a smoke.
I think I need to have a good cig ready to go for our musician. So
isn't this always what we do?
Yeah.
Or not?
Here we go.
So look, and he knows how to curl his lip. John has never
go.
smoked a day in his life. This is not. I'm not exaggerating, and that's why I find it so comical.
Right.
All right. We have a really good musician. Little claim to fame. Little claim to fame. He may have had something to do with Bon Jovi, and we're going to need to find out about that later. But first, let's listen to Bradley.
All right.
There's something about that alarm clock sound. Wake up feeling upside down. You're all alone when you look around. Plan your escape to leave this town. Life keeps moving at a drone. Their fortune keeps turning up unknown. Like a dog without a bone, it's time to get out on your own. There's something in the air, feels different than before. See that ray of sunshine when you're walking out the door. This is the day to put the past behind you. Don't let it define you. There's nothing in the way. This is the day. You're in it, so go in it and take it to the limit. Your heart's in the right place. This is the day. Looking back to what might have been, can't keep holding on to what you didn't win. Keep the faith, keep up your chin. This is where your life begins. There's something in the air, feels different than before. See that ray of sunshine when you're walking out the door. This is the day to put the past behind you. Don't let it define you. There's nothing in the way. This is the day. You're in it, so go in it. Take it to the limit. Your heart's in the right place. This is the day. Make the realization. Control your destination. Tomorrow's on its way. Goodbye. Look into the mirror, see yourself a little clearer. There are no other reasons why. This is the day to put the past behind you. Don't let it define you. There's nothing in the way. This is the day. You're in it, so go in it. Take it to the limit. Your heart's in the right place. This is the day to feel a little stronger and fight a little longer. They can't take that away. This is the day. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Let's hear it for Bradley, huh? Bradley, just pick up that mic for 1 second. Just
arm?
like, have you
I
ever
had to
performed
switch.
in the upstairs of a candy shop ever?
No, this is the first time.
Okay,
for
sure.
sure.
We're glad. That's all we needed to know.
Yeah, that's
We are going to
right.
bring Bradley back on, obviously,
Right.
but thank you so much.
Thank you,
if that
Bradley.
didn't get your attention,
He
right?
gets to go take a break and
Eat candy.
what's he going to do, Rach?
He's not going to do that. Anyway, so you know how it goes. This is the behind the scenes, as we said, of the YaJagoff Podcast. If you don't subscribe, please subscribe. And obviously, you can find it anywhere that you get your podcast. But we specifically say that you should get it on Odyssey because you can get the YaJagoff Podcast a day early on Mondays around 1 o'clock.
Right.
Good?
Yeah.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
So we're going to do the usuals, and John is not reading the ad today.
Because, I mean, it could with this in my mouth.
But he's not going
candy
to.
Cigarette, but it won't.
Rachel is. All right. Rorick Honda is known for its vast showroom with a backup of vehicles in its warehouse in Bloomfield. But what about the pre-owned and certified used vehicles in inventory? With a click or a call, you can be up to date on how many of your desired make or models are available for purchase. As always, visit Rorick.com
For all of your vehicle needs.
You said a little bit. Oh
There
my
we
God.
go.
I can't with the.
So now we start the YaJagoff Podcast from Grandpa Joe's in the Strip District. So this is the YaJagoff Podcast, and as you know, we're here every week somewhere in Pittsburgh, or actually Western Pennsylvania, because we've spread our wings to Mercer County.
Good point.
And
different counties.
And we ask that if you're listening to the podcast for the very first time, that you go subscribe to it, tell a friend or two. We would appreciate that. If you're on iTunes, you can actually leave a comment to say that, we're not so bad at people.
Yeah. But as we say, if you're really looking for a place to listen, we say Odyssey because you get it a day early. And, that makes us happy because we're a part of the Odyssey family, because if you haven't listened at 4:55 on your drive home, you will hear John or Rachel giving the talk of the town with Kelly on air. And we basically are just telling you, I think we were talking about Tom Hanks at some point this week because he
Who
did
wasn't?
the little, like he did the little photo bomb. So it's events, it's different things that you need to check out, but it's also people, just like everybody, right? We're trying to figure out what's going on. And we used a lot of our friends who are here today. We'll mention that, as ways that we get our info. And then we talked to Alysta.
We talk to Alysta at 10:55 every Friday on 100.7 Star, because we're talking about where are cool places you should hang out, like Grandpa Joe's, and so we call it "Where are you putting your parking?"
Well, it's
chair?
actually I rhymed it. It's where is the parking chair? That was clever.
But it's about locations, yeah. Yeah. And then on Thursdays at 7:10 in the morning on the Y108 Wide Awake Morning Show with Kristen, because everybody ghosted her because Maria had a baby.
She's out.
Right. So anyways, at 7:10 in the morning, we talk the Jagoff of the week.
Yep. And then, as we know, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, check out our blogs. We're talking about drivers who are a pain in the butt. Like today on our way to Grandpa Joe's when the streets were closed and John used words that he's not going to use on the podcast.
You'd think these construction people would know that Google Calendars exist so they could all merge. Like if I'm working on this street over here,
we go.
And I'm working on the other. Yeah, I won't even get into it. Google
I
Calendars,
said we're not going to
construction
talk
people.
about it on the
all right,
podcast.
I'm going to just
you could just read
I'm
our
gonna
blogs
take my
on Monday,
chalk sig and do
Wednesday,
it.
Thursday, Friday.
What?
I'm going to take it out. Just put it down. Put it down
I want to make a
because we're
noise
bringing
for
our
the audio.
guests in. We're bringing our guests in. So Rachel and Chris, come on in because we're going to chat with you guys first. So as we said, Tracy does an amazing job of finding different places in Pittsburgh, places we didn't even know existed, right? Plus, Pittsburgh is always coming up with new food places, new activities. I mean, there's this Barcadia place now, so many different things. But we also like to talk to the folks who are part of the staples in Pittsburgh. And as I keep joking, but really not, you love Grandpa Joe's. When we're at Picklesburg and you walk past the booth, most people are like, wonder who the entertainment is, get nervous. No, John's like, there's Grandpa Joe's.
Right.
He loves it.
Some guys go to a hunting store and get, or a
Not
fishing
you.
store. Some people go to a Home Depot and go, kitchen cabinets.
Yeah.
I go to Grandpa Joe's and go, bun bars.
No.
And
Or Mallow
cups.
Cups. Yeah, that was my
And
favorite.
chalk candy
Oh my God.
cigarettes.
Talk to him before he starts with
All
these
right,
chalk
so
candy
Chris
cigarettes
and
again.
Rachel
Let's go.
Carlson.
Hi,
Rachel
guys.
Carlson, no
Hello.
stranger to the YaJagoff
No.
Podcast. Chris, no stranger to me because we've waved to each other a couple of times, and we're now best friends because what is happening is I'm making sure we poke holes or touch all of these items. Sort of like a kid when you go through the chocolate box
So that you have to take
so that
them?
you have to take them home. Yeah.
Is that what
So-
you figured out real quick, Rach?
I mean, I figured we were going to be marking all of this out. Sorry, Chris.
We appreciate it and welcome. Thanks so much for having us, guys.
Thank you so much for the support, and thanks
Yeah.
for featuring Grandpa Joe's.
Oh, are you kidding? So start with the stuff that people need to know, how long have you been here? If somebody like somebody just said they walk past, was it Bradley? I've walked past, but I've never been inside, kind of thing. How long have you been here?
You know, what an honor for you to say that you feature Pittsburgh staples and that Grandpa Joe's
It
in
is.
just 10 short years that
Yes.
we've become a staple of Pittsburgh. It's truly an honor to be here. But
That's a good point.
This Memorial Day weekend, we'll celebrate our 10-year anniversary.
And I love that you're saying, to me it
Big
felt
party
like
to come.
decades. Oh, good. We want to get
Yes.
the scoop on that.
You'll
but
be there.
it did feel like much longer. So the fact that you're saying 10 years, and you are iconic.
We grew up together then because Basically, our blog turned 10 years this past December.
Yeah.
So we're kind of
Happy
like the same
birthday.
age.
Thank you. Are you
Yeah.
planning a party for us too?
We have candy, so
Okay.
we'll be good to go.
Rachel just dismissed us. She was like, "There's candy here, Rachel. Enjoy your tenure."
Mic
Right.
drop.
Yeah,
Right.
right. So obviously, give us the whole, what started it? Is it a legacy? Is it a family thing? Or do you just love candy? Are you the Willy Wonka of Pittsburgh?
I've always had an obsession with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So the name may be inspired by the creepy old man that was in bed with 2 other women. You know that guy? Remember?
Yes.
There is a little bit of a side of me that kind of has a weird thought process, right? We brought the strip. We brought the candy store here to the strip. I mean, there's no other place in Pittsburgh that we could have opened. I mean,
Right.
this was definitely the spot. It was a 900 square foot storefront. Very hard to find retail space in the strip 10 years ago. And it has just continued to evolve and grow because of the incredible support that we get from Pittsburgh. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, I hear you on the Pittsburgh support because it is true. That's the story that everybody kind of tells when you become iconic. Rachel.
That's when I was going to say, that's when I discovered Grandpa Joe's was when
Yeah.
I was working for Yelp. And I remember it being this tiny storefront. And I remember being up in this area and the bulk candy was there and it was just exploding with candy. And now to see it grow is amazing.
Yeah.
We've
I mean,
had-
you're in Cannonsburg, right?
Yeah, we
Like-
just opened Cannonsburg
Yeah.
about 6 months ago, and a beautiful building there, 4,000 square feet, and an old PNC Bank right in the center of
wow.
town. It is a gorgeous location.
Why there?
My home is in Cannonsburg,
Okay.
actually, and
I thought
so
you were going to say because it had a drive-through.
Oh God.
not yet.
Oh
Not yet.
wow.
I want
gosh.
that. I want a 24-hour a day,
Candy
7-day-a-week
drive.
candy store, and it's going to happen. I'm just
Okay.
stay tuned, Pittsburgh. It's coming.
All right.
But so we're in 4 locations now here in Pittsburgh. So we have downtown Beaver, Mount Lebanon, the Strip District, and of course Cannonsburg. And the cool thing about this location right here is that we started with this 900 square foot store, and then the pieces just kind of fell into the place. And so I was able to double the size of the store, and then another space became available. So we tore another wall down, and then as a result of COVID or maybe just change in the business, but the other facility, the other property became available to us. So now 4 storefronts wide down here on 22nd and Penn Avenue, and what an awesome opportunity for us to just keep growing. So cool.
And
That's a great
easy to
point.
pick out when you're walking through the strip because of the lightly colored blue paint on the outside, right?
There's nothing boring about us.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, listen, I'll tell you this. We come to the Strip District a lot, but especially at holiday time. And I have a family custom where we come down, we get our cheeses, our meats, that kind of thing for the 7 fishes. So my dad and I get here at like 7 o'clock in the morning. So John's been coming for the last couple years and saying like, I'm going to get stuff for my family. And literally he like sneaks off. Like once you're open, and my son joined you this year, right?
I turned her son onto the place because
He
he
was
was
like-
buying stuff for his girlfriend
Yeah.
for Christmas. Yeah.
So they came over. And not that I don't come. It's just that it's his thing.
How many dumb question so far is how many people come in and call you Joe?
Everybody all the time always asks,
you're
are you
Joe?
Joe?
Yeah. And you're like, I'm not the guy sleeping with 2 women from Willy Wonka.
Right.
right,
Now,
right.
you had
I
some-
love that that's the story.
You had
though.
some very cool stories of local candy, and so before we started recording, so let's rewind that and the stories of the Mallow Cup that you were talking about, right?
Yeah,
Is
the
that what you
Mallow
guys-
Cup
yeah.
is a worldwide famous candy bar. Back in the day, we all collected the little coins that were on the cardboard wrapper underneath, and then you could send them in and get free product or merchandise. So those are still made right here in Pittsburgh. They're made in Altoona, actually. And that company bought the Clark bar. So they brought the
That's what he
Clark
was
bar
talking
back
about.
to
Crazy.
Pittsburgh, which
Yeah.
is an amazing thing. Because, Pittsburgh loves Pittsburgh. So that Clark bar finally made its way back here to Pittsburgh. And, of course, we've got it here at Grandpa Joe's.
Yeah. And I know this is super cliche and, it's like asking, like, what's your favorite kid? You can't answer it. But what's the most commonly asked question? People walk through the door, oh, I've not seen you before in your 900,000 square foot place.
Most common, everybody has a memory of what candy
Yeah.
they grew up with.
Sure.
And so a big one that everybody asks for is the Marathon bar. And so if you remember the Marathon bar, it was this chocolate and caramel candy bar that was braided. And they describe it, and they can't remember
don't
the word
remember it.
marathon. And it's like they're kind of like it was intertwined, and they're describing this. And we go,
Wait, do you interrupt?
oh, don't
I know.
worry. we have it. And then we go take them to the Curly Whirly bar, which is the Cadbury UK overseas version of the American Marathon bar. And of course we have it. So it's always fun when we stop them and say, oh, we have that.
Yeah.
Or they'll start and they'll say, it has 3 colors and it kind of has like this spongy thing. We're like, oh, coconut slice bar. Come
Yeah,
on. And
that's
then we
what I
take
would
them
have
and
said.
show them the coconut slice bar.
Do you ever tell them when they're wrong? Like, are you like the buster? Like, no, it wasn't the Skittle. It was the blah blah.
The part where customers are wrong, right?
Yeah.
Well, customers never
Never
wrong.
wrong.
Oh my gosh, he said. But the part where customers are wrong is when they tell us that something isn't discontinued, and we know very well it's discontinued. We saw it at another store. Well, it might be 6 years old,
Oh
and
my
that's why
gosh.
it's still at that
Right.
other store. But if it's not made anymore, my team is going to know. My team is experts in this candy world.
Can I
Yeah.
offer anybody a chalk cigarette? by
Oh
the
my
way?
gosh.
It feels.
I can't.
No,
what
I don't
is
chalk.
the-
Thanks.
What is the oldest
my-
piece of candy or the most legacy? That we did here. Is that a okay question?
That's an okay question. I wasn't prepared for it, but we could go back to like early 1910, and you would find things like Charleston Chew.
I
Can
saw
you
it right
can
here,
you
yeah.
imagine that the Charleston Chew is 110 years old?
Is that
I mean,
right?
it's unbelievable, right?
I was actually
Well, is it-
researching Harib. How am I saying that right?
Haribo.
Haribo.
Oh, yeah.
And it was created in the 1900s too. Thank you, Wikipedia.
There
There
you
is
go.
a
Thank
great
God for
TV
Wikipedia.
show called Food That Built America. And if you haven't seen this series, it is just so well done. And it talks a lot about candy industry and how Milton Hershey had created his entire plant before he actually had a product. I
Oh,
mean, he
wow.
built everything to be so well off that people would want to live there and work for him. But he didn't even have his recipe ready yet.
Oh wow, I didn't.
Wow.
know
So
that.
a really good episode, good TV
Good
series.
thing to
Are
watch.
you the best house to go to for Halloween?
So I do have
yeah.
three. I have 3 young girls, so 13, 10, and 7. And I have to walk with them. So we put daringly full-size candy bars stacked high on the front porch. And
Well, it's Cannonsburg. You can.
yeah.
And you know he's that house. Full-size
So
candy bar.
we are that house.
Yeah,
You're
you don't
that
want to
house.
be that. Like that guy owns a candy store and he gave away Huggies.
Yeah,
or something.
they're
Yeah,
totally.
right.
Well, Huggies would be fine. It would be more like an apple that they
Right.
would be, mad
Right.
about.
Yeah.
What about like most? I know the commonly asked question, but what is it that they're coming in for the most? Like that you're seeing, like point them that way, kind of thing.
Yeah, so they really stop and check out our international selection.
Yeah.
So international candy is a huge trend right now. People want Japanese snacks, so we have Japanese Kit Kats. We
What's
have
the biggest difference?
oh my gosh.
I know.
Look,
I'm sorry.
we have the FDA here in America.
Yeah.
That's what ruins everything. We're not
Oh.
allowed to have Kinder eggs here in America because somebody's going to choke on the toy that's inside the egg. Come on, people.
Right.
You know there's a toy in there. Don't swallow the toy.
It's a Kinder egg.
But our international section, our international selection is amazing. So Milka bars, it's just a better chocolate than we're used to here in America.
Much better.
It looks
The
delicious.
Kinder Hippo, like this guy is like a biscuit with like a cream filling on the inside, and just this is my favorite here in the whole place. Like,
I'm
And so-
shocked you're saying that.
oh, I have favorites. Trust me,
Okay,
I got
okay,
favorites.
all right.
True fact is the first year we were open, we did not sell the 3 Musketeers bar, and that was because I would have eaten them all.
I like them too. Yeah.
And so I did bring them in eventually. But now, like Rocky Road, the Rocky Road is from the Annabelle Candy Company out of California. And so they make the Abba Zaba, they make the Big Hunk. I mean, you and I
Oh,
are
yeah,
familiar with Big Hunks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no
But,
question. I just look in the mirror. Yeah, just like you do.
Oh.
But,
Yes, we're hanging out.
but so Annabelle makes Big Hunk and Rocky Road, and that's one of my favorites too. Now, that's a big chocolate bar with a big marshmallow on the inside and just a hint of cashew. And a really good one.
Okay.
So people are always looking for stuff that they just can't find anywhere else. And we try really, really hard to always have stuff that
Yeah.
you just can't find anywhere else.
Well, and I have to bring Rachel into this too because you're right. You do have the unique things, that's for sure. And and it's the place where you go, oh, if you need that, you go to Grandpa Joe's. But kudos to Rachel because I texted her earlier this week and I said, hey, we shared one of your TikToks because I love the fact that it would probably. If you were working here, it would be, I don't want to say easy, but hey, I could get cool photos. I could
Yes.
really entice people to come in here. But you really take it a step further. You know, John was talking about this through social media to kind of say, watch this, like you walking through and crying like, oh my gosh, like I have to have this candy. So many opportunities here to kind of every day tell a different story.
It is content worthy material for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah.
Any day I walk in here, there's something new. I even discovered the Milka is probably one of my favorites now from working here, from taking it home and biting it and doing that for social. I was like, wait a second, this is delicious.
Yeah.
And I'm obsessed officially. But it, you know, content social media is such a beast, but obviously being surrounded by so many cool things, it's overwhelming at times to say, okay, I need to feature this or that. And
Sure.
I love hearing from people on Facebook, on Instagram, and, you know, I'm the one answering those messages behind that.
Sure.
And hearing what people enjoy and seeing how obsessed they are. We did the Cream Savers launch, which was insane. The candy culture, that's a culture.
Yeah,
you dive in.
That's a good point. Yeah, it is a culture.
It is a culture, and I love how people are connected to Grandpa Joe's too.
Yeah, that's a great. Well, like you said, it's the memories, it's the stories that they remember, that they harken back to and say, okay, well, what about now, kind of thing. All right, we need to know where we find you and all that good stuff because I think we're getting blindfolded. I'm getting sweaty.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous.
So
All right.
if you're listening to the podcast, make sure you go look at the photos on YaJagoff.com or go back on Saturday and watch the video from Saturday, I should say, because we have a lot of samples out there. We have socks, we have cigarettes, we do have the Charleston shoes,
Never
which are
did
really
I ever
good
think we'd
frozen,
say we have
by the
socks,
way.
we have cigarettes. Like,
Yeah, right. And I mean, there's all kind of stuff. All right, so we're putting blindfold.
yeah, Rachel,
Hold
you're
on.
just gonna like guide us. What's going on?
And they also have the wax candies that you used to have that you can chew. Mustaches. Rachel had the lips on.
I did, but I can't put them back on because
right.
the taste test. So Rachel said that we're going to try things.
Right.
Okay. I'm trying to not like cheat. I hate not being in control. Like I 100%. Like I hate it. I'm not gonna lie right now.
Just so you know, they're moving things away from you already.
Yeah, I just didn't want you to knock over the
He's like, she's a
the
fidgeter.
red cup of
Oh, wow,
liquid
they
here
really
in
are
front
dark.
of you.
These blindfolds are dark.
Yeah.
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 All right.
It reminds me. What was the Netflix movie with Sandra Bullock? Colin. Oh, my Colin, but I had the other Colin knew. That's so awesome. Yes, that was so good. That was so good. All right.
All right, so
I feel like-
so
Go ahead,
we
yeah.
we
Yeah,
have put
Chris,
two
you
cups
narrate.
in front of you here,
'Kay.
and this is a creation that
like-
Pittsburgh inspired me to create. It is it's probably been out now for maybe 2 years or so. Made right here in Pittsburgh by
Tasty.
Natrona Bottling Company, exclusive for Grandpa Joe's. And do we tell them the flavor, Rachel? I don't think so.
Okay.
I
do
think
we
this
tell
is
you?
this is a craft soda that I invented special just for Pittsburgh.
All right, so we're tasting. All right.
Oh wow, that's really good. And we have to tell you the flavor.
How about that?
Wow. What do you think?
It's lemony.
No, it's not lemony. It's a berry.
Think-
Lemon? Are we
think-
drinking the same thing?
Think Pittsburgh. Think Pittsburgh.
Is it strawberry jello pretzel salad?
John, that's all you think about.
I know.
lemon.
It's like
There could be like 57 different taste buds you could come up with.
Oh my God, John.
Oh God!
Are you okay?
Oh, I'm gonna
It's
gag.
ketchup.
Oh my God! I'm gonna gag.
He doesn't eat ketchup.
Oh,
We didn't know this.
Oh my God! I want to see your face. Oh my God, he hates
it's
ketchup.
vinegary. Vinegar. That's what it
I
tastes.
I got berry. What is it?
It's ketchup.
Oh,
Straight ketchup.
It
oh
is.
I'm
my
gonna leave.
God.
I'm
This
leaving. Oh
John,
my
look
God.
at the bottle.
I'm
It really
wait,
is.
wait.
Is this going to be the first
The most-
episode he's
Did he
ever walked
vomit?
out
Oh
of?
my
Yes.
God.
Oh my God. That's
Oh
so funny.
my
All right,
God.
Blind back up. Blind back up.
Okay. Woo.
Blind back up. Let's.
Oh God, give me something.
I didn't think I
hairy to
liked
get
it.
rid of that
It
taste.
does. I mean, it's.
I
yeah.
drank more than I needed to.
But I tasted berry. It was sweet
Ketchup.
ketchup. It was
ketchup
sweet ketchup.
soda. Yeah, it was sweet.
It was sweet. All right.
All right, here's number 2. And
My hand on the wrong thing.
I'll help you out here with the color. And this is
Okay.
a very light green color. And
my favorite
sorry,
color.
here we
Oh,
go.
you're fine. Thank you. Okay.
All
And
right,
again,
drink
Pittsburgh
Okay, salute, John.
inspired
I don't know where
this.
you are.
Whoa, I smell it already. Hold on.
Oh yeah, I know it.
It's mustard. smells like mustard. Pickles. It's pickles. Pickles.
It's pickle. Oh, it's pickle. It is pickle. But you know, we host the pickle juice drinking contest, and
Now that's not bad.
That tastes good.
That's actually not bad at all.
Not
Yeah, that's
bad.
pretty
Do
good.
people like that?
I
They
smell
really
it right
do.
away, though.
They do. Wiggle Whiskey has used the pickle soda as a mixer. And again, the pickle and the ketchup soda are both made at Natrona Bottling, which is over near Tarentum, and Red Ribbon Sodas.
Oh,
That's
Red Ribbon.
who's,
Right,
yeah,
right.
Vito.
Okay.
Oh,
Vito
right.
and his team over there
Yes.
make these exclusive for Grandpa Joe's.
Oh,
That's pretty
wow.
awesome.
That was awesome.
No,
Are we
that's
good, Rach, or are
actually
you
that would
doing
be really
something
good.
else?
Ice cold. On
We
a
can
hot
do
day.
one more.
Let's
Yeah.
do one more.
Let's do one more.
Unless it's ketchup.
I mean, just let's make it known. This is a lot for me. I'm a little nervous, John.
All right, so she's
Okay.
putting
Are
a
you
candy
eating or
bar in your
Something
hands
that's
Okay.
here.
placed in our hands.
Thanks.
All right. So we ready
Okay.
to bite it?
Is it the same again? Yeah.
Huh?
You both have the same. Go ahead.
Okay. Mm. I don't know what this is. Zagnut.
That's
No?
really good.
Not Zagnut?
Think a little bit before earlier in the episode.
Clark.
Yes.
Dark bar. Yeah.
But weren't they the same, like, weren't they around the same time, no?
Yes, you're correct. The Clark Bar and Zagnut Bar were
My
almost
dad loves
around the
Zagnut.
same time.
You can unblindfold John.
So good. Yeah, he doesn't care. I'm freaking out. Like, I need my sight. And John's like,
Unless you wanted to keep them on and do the crickets next.
Do the what?
crickets.
No,
I'm
no,
good.
no.
I'm good. Ketchup and crickets. That would be John's favorite episode. Oh my God, these are good. I'm gonna.
They're
finish
really
eating it.
good.
We
I
just
love
want
the
lunch.
fact that we got John to try some ketchup.
Well,
Oh my god.
the fact that he took another sip, and after you said, I was like, my heart sunk. I was like, it's ketchup, and he's
This
gonna die.
revelation honestly rocks me. It may rock Pittsburgh because not being a ketchup fan
Yeah,
could get
He
you
doesn't tell-
excommunicated.
he doesn't tell a lot of people, but it creeps
My
him
two
out.
secrets are I don't like ketchup. It actually makes me gag. And
We saw it.
I've never seen the Godfather's movies.
I haven't either.
And people kick
Yeah,
me.
but it's
they want to
okay
kick
for
me out of
women.
Pittsburgh for that.
Guys didn't see. I don't know.
All
All right.
right.
You guys, where does everybody find you? Internet, social media, all that good stuff.
Yeah, let's start on the web. So grandpajoes.com, load up a brand new website we just launched a few weeks ago, and way easier shopping experience, and really gives you a good virtual tour of all of our 11 retail locations. Get that. We have 6 locations in Ohio and now 6 locations in Pennsylvania.
Oh wow.
Crazy, yeah. And so
Good you.
Good for you.
Thank
And
you.
watch out
Thank
for
you very
more.
much. And more, yeah. We've got a big announcement coming in about 2 weeks. We're going to open one in a brand new state, state that a lot of Pittsburghers may retire to. So stay tuned for that one.
Oh, look at
dropping
you.
little ends.
I think he's planning for the future as well. isn't he?
Wouldn't that be great?
Right.
That's
Well, thank you.
All right,
both.
question,
question of the day.
Well,
Here we
you
go.
and Rachel decided it, so go ahead.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
and we have to say social.
Yeah, tell us social. I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I have to butt in because
Oh,
this
yeah.
is my livelihood. I don't get paid in just candy. I
would.
do like to take a little bit. But we are on social. On Facebook, you can find your favorite store on there. We have all 11 stores on there, and you can find us on Instagram and on TikTok
And it's at Grandpa Joe's.
at Grandpa Joe's.
Correct.
Nice.
It's so easy. All right, go
Right.
ahead. Hit them
All
with
right.
the question.
The question of the day is peeps. We're coming up to Easter when peak peep season.
Say that 3 times fast.
Right.
right?
So, are you a dry and stale peep person or a fresh peep person, Chris?
If I have to eat a peep, I would prefer to roast it and put it on a s'more.
Oh,
Same.
okay. Nice.
I have no interest.
All right.
I love Peeps, but I do tear them open as soon as I get them and put them in the cupboard and wait till they're like almost rock hard. I like
People
the crunch.
say that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
John,
know.
how about you?
Or a microwave.
Peeps. I'm not a fan of Peeps. Of all the sweets, to me, it's wasting an opportunity to eat another piece of chocolate. So, so I can't do it. No,
I'm
you
out.
can't.
I try.
Rachel wants
It's like
Peeps.
beets. I
flavored
want to like beets. I can't
Well,
like them.
Yeah.
If the Easter Bunny brings you Peeps, you know where to deposit them if you don't like them.
You're covered.
Yeah.
Right,
Rachel and
right.
Chris, thank you so much.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it. We're
Yes,
coming back.
thank
We'll come down. We'll have to do a tour of all
Oh,
their
yeah.
stores. How's that?
Right.
A walk
All right.
and talk.
A walk and talk. I love
Okay,
it.
I love it.
Next up, Colin from the Incline, the new Colin. Perfect.
Cool. Perfect. Thank you. All right. Cool.
Is
This was really fun. No, I'm good, thank you.
John,
If you're going.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. All right, someday I'll have
Do
to
you
buy
want
over
any
beers.
more?
I'll tell you a story
It
about
was
me
not
and
bad.
ketchup.
take it.
Oh my god.
I have to get a picture of him.
Here's the pickle.
Come on, Colin, you can sit.
All right.
Oh, he mixed pickles and ketchup. Wonder what that tastes like. Chris just mixed it.
Oh, Lord.
You need a hamburger soda.
Whoa, Mama.
All right. Coming back from music.
Doesn't matter to me as long as you're good.
All right.
Level's good.
Good, good, good. You on a yellow? All right, cool. So Bradley just hanging out here at the. He hasn't had any candy yet. I don't think, right?
He's just like the music guy.
Right.
He's just kind of hanging in the
Right.
back, just kind of doing his thing.
It makes us look cool because we look like we're with the band every time we have a
Exactly,
podcast. Right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So do you want to introduce our next guest?
No, go ahead. This is your find, right?
Oh, I guess
So
so.
we
Sort of.
we
I'm new.
heard about our next guest, and
Yeah.
then suddenly there was a profile up. We're like, get him.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I told him the story about how before he even started, we were like, well, could we get him on this podcast? And they were like, just hold on until he kind of makes his way into Pittsburgh. But Colin, you have been in Pittsburgh. Colin is obviously the new, what is the title at the Incline?
Yeah, so I'm the local director of the
Local
Incline, which
director.
basically means I kind of wear
You do
all
it all.
of the hats.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew you did it all, but I wasn't sure of what title they gave you. And it should be the guy who does it all.
Yeah, I mean, that would be pretty cool.
Do you
I
need
would,
us to email?
I don't know if that would like fit on a placard on my desk or anything
Right.
like that, but if
Understood.
I could get it all in there, then that would
Colin,
be
can
pretty
I
cool.
offer you a cigarette? Or
Oh,
yeah.
well, I
Oh,
actually quit,
wow.
but
All right.
it's pretty
There you go.
tempting. I think
Good.
I have to go for
Thanks
it.
for playing along with him, Colin.
Sure.
Well, me and Colin are gonna bookend you right now. Book right here.
Colin,
there you
please
go.
don't.
We have to
My
say something
Colin,
for
please
Bradley just in
take me
case
away
he
from this.
smokes.
So I'm sure you saw all the fun stuff that we got to taste. I don't like pretend. If anybody
Right.
didn't notice, like I don't believe in Disney World. I can't stand any of that stuff. So you're pretending. Anyway, you saw us kind of taste testing this stuff. What do you think? Have you been to Grandpa Joe's yet?
I have actually not been to Grandpa Joe's before this.
Yeah.
I'm really excited by their selection of international candies because they
Yes.
have like weird salted licorice and stuff that I really
Yes.
like. I used to live in Germany, and candy like that's really hard to find in the
Really?
States.
What were you doing in Germany?
So after I finished my undergrad, I had actually studied abroad in Germany and Austria, and I got a Fulbright scholarship to do English teaching assistantships stuff over there. So I worked at a comprehensive school there for about 2 years, and I ate entirely too much Haribo during that time as well.
Oh my gosh. Wow. What an experience though.
Yeah, it's really had a big impact, I think, on my just like how I've kind of moved through the world since then. I feel like Germany is a place where a lot of stuff was really cool at the time that wasn't cool in the United States, and so I felt like really seen while I was over there, and I kind of brought some of that stuff back with me, I guess.
Wouldn't that be
Yeah, that's a
cool?
good
Is
point.
that you're fascinated by how if German folks came over here, we would not be able to interact with them. We'd have to go look at a book. You go over there, they all know English as a second language. Not born, but all the way from elementary
But that's
school,
most
right?
countries, right?
It's
I mean, that's-
fascinating, right?
Yeah, it's getting really hard to practice foreign languages abroad unless you have a very good accent, because if people can hear that you're an
They know
American,
it.
they'll almost immediately start talking
Yeah.
to English in
I'm
English
sure.
to you like right away.
I'm
so.
sure. Speaking of, so you're not a Pittsburgher, born and raised, and that's okay. That's okay. But you're right in Ohio. So you tell us a little bit about that. You started in Ohio, but before you go into that, do you notice our accents? When you got to Pittsburgh, did you notice the Pittsburghese right away?
Well, so my grandpa, he said downtown back in the day. My uncle says downtown.
Oh yeah, your mom
So,
lived here,
yeah,
right? Okay,
I'm-
so you knew.
Even though I'm not from Pittsburgh originally, I'm of Yinzer stock.
Yeah, okay,
so I
gotcha.
grew up around that accent and had a lot of fun making.
And I forget, what area did you say your mom?
Oh, I
from?
grew up in. She grew up in Elizabeth Township.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so I grew up in Kent, Ohio, actually, where Kent State University is.
Mm-hmm.
So really not that far from Pittsburgh. And one of the nice things about living back here now is it's really quick for me to go back and visit family. It's just,
Yeah.
an hour
It
and
is.
45 minutes in the car.
Yeah, that's great. What do you like most about Pittsburgh now that you're here?
There's a lot to love about Pittsburgh. I think just like the natural scenery of the city is a backdrop for everything else that is so amazing about this place. And, whether we're talking about different neighborhoods that have ethnic character, like we're talking about Polish Hill, or some of the neighborhoods that now are kind of experiencing this resurgence, like wherever you go, there's such a different view of the city. There's such a different architectural style in each neighborhood. And so within the city, you can have you can have 90 different experiences in 90 different neighborhoods. And I think that's really something unique to Pittsburgh. You know, for all of the amazing big cities that we have here in the States, just the way each neighborhood is so its own in Pittsburgh is really remarkable.
I agree.
And now you get to be the megaphone for what's happening around here. And so tell, if someone's not familiar with the Incline, tell everybody what you do there.
And wait,
what
before
the
you
Incline
even say
is.
that, how can you not be? Because I sort of teased it at the beginning that when we are, on the air with Kelly or something like that, I literally go to the Incline first because I love the manner in which you set it all up. The whole format of it being more newsletter style is so appealing and so easy for the eye to go to that you're not like, wait a second, where did I get this information kind of thing. So kudos to you guys, because we will say like, oh, we got this from the Incline because it's easy for Rachel to read. But is that what sort of drew you to that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and thank you very much for that. I really
Absolutely.
appreciate that we can kind of be a go-to spot for you. And I really hope that's what we are for the rest of our readers. So the Incline is a daily newsletter. You subscribe with your email address, wherever you want that to go. And then Tuesday through Friday, we deliver a fresh digest of Pittsburgh news in your inbox. And so what that looks like kind of depends on the day. Sometimes there are major events that are kind of hard to avoid talking about in Pittsburgh, like sinkhole buses and things of that nature.
Sure.
And then we also do Locals to Know, which is a really important way to connect with the city by just seeing who's doing great work around town. I mean, whether we're talking about nonprofit leaders or business people here in Pittsburgh, there's just so much innovation really happening right now. And so the Locals to Know is kind of like a deep dive into one person's change making here in town. So we intersperse those with regular news coverage. And as things go on, I know that a lot of our readers are really looking forward to some restaurant digests and things like that. And I'm really looking forward to bringing back some of those features that folks might not have seen in the last couple months while I was kind of getting ready to move into the role. So in April, we'll have some of those and, some brackets and things like that coming up.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm glad we got teased on that because I love the brackets. We've loved Rosalind. We've honestly liked every of the, and I like that you made a comment about it's the other Colin because there was a Colin there before you. But I do love the fact that you really do capture the essence of Pittsburgh. And the even better part is how everybody kind of plays well in the sandbox. We all kind of figure out a way to make it our own story. And that's what I like most about, getting your info.
Our media landscape here, I think there's so many folks who are kind of in my role, like wearing many hats at once. And so it's really great to get to bounce ideas off of people because I think folks really understand what my role is like. Like you guys, for example, you've got a lot of different things going on and have to kind of be like producing and directing your own work. And, there's a lot of real self-starters here in our media landscape.
Yes.
And I love getting to meet new people and hear their story, like how they got into those roles.
Yeah.
So your Rolodex must be incredible, or it will be, eventually here. But the fact is, how is it possible for you to scan all of these things? Do you use a little bit of software or using keywords? Not to get so technical, but the fact is there's a lot of information in every Incline email blast that goes out. And it must be that I would picture that you're reading every hour of every day that when you're not publishing
Research.
I do read a lot of local news. I kind of even before I started at the Incline, I would spend every morning looking at WESA, City Paper, PG, all the local outlets because I think once you scan that stuff, you just feel more like you live in the city. And with the Incline, our whole motto is live like you live here. And so I've just continued that habit and I'm able to kind of leverage it, for our newsletter and for our readers. And hopefully that is both a way for people to kind of skim without having to hop between sites, but it also gives people a chance to do some deep dives. So if you really do want to delve into a story and kind of learn all the ins and outs of what's happening in Pittsburgh, you can always click that link and figure it out on your own as well.
That's a great point. We've asked this question before, but I think it's really imperative to ask you, is there a place in Pittsburgh, and obviously, again, even though you're not from here, you know it well enough, is there a place that maybe is a staple that you go, oh my gosh, I've never been to? Like, for example, we were talking about places. I've been here 45 years, so I should know every possible whatever. And I said, John had never been to the Phipps Conservatory until last year.
Oh my goodness.
Right. And you don't realize
This is just
that.
a John Revelations.
No
Wow.
Phipps, no Phipps. I mean, he doesn't even like Pittsburgh.
Secret candy cigarette habit. Man, oh man.
That was good. But do you have that place that you're kind of like, I can't believe I've not been to?
A place that I have not been to, man, that's a really good question. I have not been to Carnegie Music Hall in Homestead. I think that's a place that has, they have lots of really good musical events and things like that. I feel like that's a place that I probably should have been, but have not been to
yet. And that's a fair place. Like, it's not Phipps where it's like, are you kidding me? But yours is definitely like, okay, I should get there, that kind of thing. And you will, but there's other places before it. I totally understand.
Have you ever heard of the Baronhof Museum?
Oh my goodness, I was actually hoping you were going to ask me my favorite place in Pittsburgh, and I was going to say Baronhof.
Right.
I went there so I moved to Pittsburgh in 2015, and my girlfriend and I went to Baronhof probably like a year or two after I moved here. We had just started dating.
Really beat us.
It is really unique and just absolutely hilarious. It is one of the just most hilarious museums I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And that is truly I think that is one of the most unique single institutions that we have here in Pittsburgh.
You're right.
There's absolutely nothing like it.
And kept secret. Like,
For
there's
sure.
so many. I hate that term, to be honest with you, because there's so many places that it shouldn't be a kept secret. It's just you haven't explored it yet. But that place, I mean, they came right out and said, we don't want it to be overly known because we can't staff it to bring people in on the regular.
And the neighbors they're limited to the certain number of tours that are there. So it adds to the quirkiness and the demand to want to go see it. Plus, quite frankly, I mean, West End Overlook is one of my favorite views of the city. But the Baronhof Museum view of the city from the opposite side, from the one room where the big picture window is absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, we went there on a clear day, so you could see all the way to the skyline, and it really gives you kind of a different perspective of our whole landscape in the area.
Yeah.
Well, let me, I am proximity challenged. Like, I joke, I literally have been here 45 years, and I will walk out of here and go, how do we get home? Like, it's crazy, and I don't know. I think it's just because I don't have to. Like, he's going to drive or my husband's going to drive, so I don't think about it. We went to Asty's Steakhouse for this fried chicken event on Sunday. Have you ever been in that area?
No.
So it's in like North Braddock.
North Braddock, yeah.
And we're in this parking lot, and I looked over and I was like, I have never seen such a gorgeous view. And it was like Kerry Blast Furnace, like it's that kind of. And then John goes, "What's that?" And I was like, it's Kennywood. Like, I forget what ride it was. I was like, it's Kennywood, but it's not the iconic like where the laser loop used to be, you know, coming in, but. I mean, we have so many views that people don't even realize.
And that trail that runs along the Mon there, too, the Gap Trail that goes all the way to D.C.,
right.
there are some incredible views all the way down that trail. Like, once you get past McKeesport and down into the Yauk Valley, too, you feel like you're just in the middle of nowhere.
Good
and
point.
that's something about this city, too, that I really value, is that you're a stone's throw from nature at any given time.
That's such a good point.
Listen, if we shoot these Jagging Around with John and Rachel videos. So if we came and followed you for a day, what would that, and with our videos, would it be like you're sitting, you get up, kind of do your routine and get online and start late? Would it be at a computer all day, or would you be out doing interesting things?
So I would say on a weekday, you know, I spend a lot of time at the computer just getting the newsletter ready for everybody. But I've actually, through working at the Incline, I've been starting to go to more media events. So last week, for example, I went down to the Riverhound season preview, got to see some of the upgrades they're making to the stadium there. So I'm hoping that there will be less of that computer time as time goes on. On the weekend, however, though, you're very likely to find me either on my bike, in a museum, or at one of our breweries. You know, we have an increasing number of just really phenomenal breweries here in town. And that's a great, like, Sunday morning, you know, just go out and check out some new part of town, check out a new brewery, and learn something new about the city along the way.
We're going to tell them right now that across the street is the Beer Hive.
You have a beer?
We have a YaJagoff beer.
Well, it's the logo on your thing. It's the YaJagoff beer made by North Country Brewing in Slippery Rock.
Ooh, they're good, too.
You
I'll
could
have to
literally
try
walk
that
across
out.
the street. I know my proximity that way. Walk across the street to the Beer Hive and have a beer.
You can.
Yeah.
They have it in the cans.
They do. The cans are the best part.
Because the cans.
We are so glad we got the chance to catch up with you. You're such a good spirit, and we really hope we can have you come on more quarterly, maybe talk about some of the stories that you're doing, just shine some more light to Pittsburgh, and be a great media partner. So
now we're challenging
really
you to eat
enjoy
one of the
talking to you
crickets.
guys. Yeah.
Now we're challenging you to eat one of the crickets. No,
One
I'm
of the
just kidding.
crickets.
Don't do it,
kidding.
don't do it.
He's
I have
kidding.
eaten crickets before.
Have you really?
In
I have
Germany.
I have tried crickets before, not in Germany.
Okay.
It was actually in the States, but I don't remember. I think it was another candy shop like
were you
this.
on a Joe
actually.
Rogan show?
I was not on a Joe Rogan show.
Do you remember?
I don't think I could handle that.
That's the best question all day right there.
God. I remember watching that, like, please don't do it. Please don't do it. That's so funny. Anyway, go ahead. Question
Our
of the
question of the day.
Yeah.
Are you a stale peat person? But now we have a third option, a melted peat person.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Or are you a fresh peat person?
I am a stale peep person, and I shared with you guys before the show, and I'll share with your audience as well, that my shortcut to stale peeps, because I'm also a pretty impatient person, is to pop those guys in the freezer, and then they're instantly stale, and you just got like the perfect nice crust with a chewy inside.
Colin just pea-packed.
He really did. He really
Pea-pack.
did.
Hashtag pea-pack.
We need to come up with 10
That's funny.
pea-packs.
Yeah, that is
Right?
really
Well,
funny.
there you
Yeah.
go.
There's a bracket.
There you go. There you go.
Colin, thank you so much. Where does everybody find you?
So you can find The Incline at The Incline on social media or at The Incline PGH. We always look for great photos on Instagram and stuff, so we can share those as well. But you can find us on Facebook and Twitter. And just as a shameless plug for myself, I have an embroidery business that you can find at Not to Scale, KNOT to Scale. So.
Listen, not only are we at Grandpa Joe's, but he's been looking for an embroidery place for like 100 years. So this is another match made in heaven, and Rachel's out. I mean, it's just,
No,
I'm not
when
even
you
mad.
embroider certain just
I like to hand embroider things like maps, and I do cross stitches of neighborhoods and overviews of people's houses and things like that. So I really like working geography into my visual art.
quick note. My
know.
granddaughter actually has a quilt that's embroidered by my grandmother, who started it, passed away, and then finished by her grandmother. So it's like 2 generations who have made a quilt, and I'm fascinated by it actually. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I picked that up working at the Children's Museum. My grandma was also a seamstress, so I guess I've got that in my bloodline somewhere.
Nice. Colin, a pleasure to meet you. Thank
Great
you
talking
so
to you
much.
guys. Thank you so
Cool.
much for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much.
Now we're going to talk to Bradley.
All right. Thank you. We appreciate it. This was great. Yeah.
Now that I put this in my mouth, I suppose I should eat it.
That is so funny.
You took it so well. You're like, of course. And he drags it out of there like I was giving it.
Oh, when I was a kid, I used to love these things. I didn't even want to smoke at the time, but it was just like felt right to have
Yeah,
a candy
right.
cigarette somehow.
No, I get it. And
This is a vice. These are vices for
I
me, these
cannot.
things.
This thing is what's killing me.
Oh my God! I
Is
can
it making
smell
you
it.
sick?
I can smell it.
I don't know how you didn't smell it when you tasted
Oh,
it.
I couldn't.
So I literally, my
as soon as
heart
he said what
sank.
it was. I was like, oh my God, because
Here,
it tasted.
let's get a picture.
All right.
Those look a lot more realistic than I expected.
Technology has improved candy.
All right. So
Here we go. Bradley, welcome back to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, you get to talk now. You don't even have to play the guitar yet.
Yeah, I'm probably better at talking than I am playing.
I don't believe that. I don't
no,
believe that.
you had a good. We're like in the secret cove of Grandpa Joe's. So we're up here at the table. You know, I always think of Penn Mac when your dad, Rachel, goes down there. He's like, oh, the owner would always drag me in and have a little glass of wine on Christmas Eve shopping or whatever. I feel like we're in Chris's private
Like cave
candy
or
den.
something.
Yeah,
for sure.
So,
Except my
so-
dad does like a fake Italian accent because he's Irish and he pretends that he's Italian because my mom is. And he's like, we're going to go get some vino. I'm like, you don't say that well. Like, it doesn't even come across really good. But
So tell us about you, Bradley.
yeah, like, where are you from?
Well, I'm born and raised on the east side of Pittsburgh, so really grew up and went to high school in the Penn Trafford School District.
Sure.
Okay.
After that, went to St. Vincent to get my undergraduate degree, and so it's pretty heavily Westmoreland County there for a while.
Yeah.
Took some time and got into kind of working in healthcare. With a political science degree, I got into healthcare.
Who doesn't
Okay.
do that?
Technology. So that was one of those random things where it just kind of worked itself out.
Yeah.
I ended up moving to West Palm Beach, Florida for 7 years.
Oh, wow.
And
Hated it and wanted to come back to Pittsburgh.
Well,
No.
listen, I think when you grow up in a place like Pittsburgh, there's so much to offer as far as his history and as far as being able to come to a city, a major city, and then drive 20 minutes away and be in the Laurel Highlands. And,
I agree.
And that's all very great. But as a 23-year-old kid, right out of college, going to West Palm Beach is pretty exciting.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And, there's things that I miss about Florida, but, there's that transient population that you always have in Florida that you just don't have here in Western PA. I think that one of the biggest things, because I still travel all over the country and I have friends come in to Pittsburgh, relatively frequently, whether it's for a meeting or whether it's to go camping or something like that. People are amazed that there's this big city right when you come out of a tunnel that they've never seen before.
Right. I love that.
And usually the first thing that we try to do is go to Permanis, then go to PNC Park if it's in the summer, and then, go up to camp or something like that.
Yeah.
So really, Western PA, as far as everything that it's had to offer, is, it's a great place to grow up.
Right.
So there's an official category for you, right? You're a boomeranger, right?
A boomeranger,
you're
yes.
a boomeranger.
Yeah, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And so now that you're back here and you understand the history, but isn't it almost crazy, like what you see, what Pittsburgh is now? Like, I never moved away, but I'm still astounded when I see, like, oh my God, we're known, as Rachel will say, for food. We're known for art. What did we find out? We're like number 3 on the list as far as
for
art
Yeah.
centers
Behind
for
New
art, graphic arts and things like that. So visual arts. So what was it like to come back here after 7 years? Or were you back here enough that you really kind of?
The summers here are great. I think they're hot summers just like it is down in Florida, but the summers in maybe it's just the nostalgic feeling of growing up and going to Kennywood or going to the rivers or going to Ohio Power or something like that. But the summers are great, so I try to come back in the summer if I could. So it wasn't complete culture shock after being gone for 7 years, but when I would come back, I might just see the airport, the highway, maybe a favorite restaurant, and then family.
Sure.
So there's still places that I drive, and I'm like, where did this come from?
Sure. Yeah, we do that.
I do
it every day.
And a lot has changed, since I was, in my high school age. If you look at downtown, what downtown has become, it's incredible because it's not somewhere that we ever went.
Right.
Or we're able to really go.
Talk about your music career, though. How did that start? And
Yes.
we're going to ask you the question.
Yeah, so that started here many, many years ago. I was in a band called the Berlin Project, and we were kind of a punk ska rock band. We played a lot of shows at Club Laga
Oh, yeah.
back in the day. We used to play at Graffiti. We got to play some Warped Tours. We
You
played
don't
out
look
at
old
Star
enough
Lake.
to
I
remember
know.
graffiti.
You don't. Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Hours.
Yeah, we got to do a lot with that band, and we had a lot of great times in that band. And when it ultimately did, break up, as sometimes bands do, I had no plan on what I was going to do for the rest of my life because I was going to be in a band for the rest of my life.
Right.
So I hurried up and applied to St. Vincent. They sent me an acceptance letter. I thought they had certainly made a mistake
That's
because
funny.
I never took the SATs, and they still let me in.
What?
And I won't let the dean
How about
live that
fun
down.
fact?
Because I didn't tell him till I graduated from college that I didn't.
Wow.
But so got into healthcare from there, and kind of put music on the back burner, and didn't create, didn't write, didn't play out anything like that. Just kind of focused on more of being a career-oriented person. And
Sure.
then, one day, something crazy happens, and it's a catalyst to start writing a record and getting back into music, and it's kind of what happened.
Okay.
So we'll tease a little bit more, but now you said you travel a lot. Do you take your guitar with you, and is it about the music, or is there another line of work that you're in and you take the guitar with you?
Yeah. So I'm still in healthcare, still travel a lot for that, but do bring my guitar when I can, especially, and maybe after hours, we're getting together playing some of the other players. There's a lot of musicians that are in the healthcare space.
Oh, okay.
No, I wouldn't know that. Okay.
So we do get together and play with a lot of different people a lot. So, that's pretty. It keeps it sane.
Yeah.
Being on the road all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit of grounding.
A little bit of grounding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Plus mutual admiration for music and kind of builds a team and builds. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Get him to tell you the Tracy story.
All right. So Tracy tells us you have a cool story.
Yeah. So the story.
About a little guy named.
Yeah, Bon Jovi. So
What?
So a story that I don't ever want to live down. I don't think,
Right.
because it's such a great story. And basically, several years ago, Bon Jovi was playing at PPG Paints Arena, and he had fallen ill the day before, and his voice just wasn't where it needed to be at all. And I think the crowd was getting more and more disappointed as the show went on, and John somehow had a bright idea. He was going to bring some Jagoff from the crowd up onto the stage to sing with the band.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I was in the second row, and I'm like, well, I wonder who they're going to bring up there and screw this all up. Didn't think it was going to be me at all.
Right.
So, some people I was with were pointing at me, and he had walked away to the other side of the stage and immediately came back and pointed at me and said, "Can you do it? Sure you know it? Get up here." And just like that, I was singing in front of 20,000 people,
Oh my word.
right next to John, standing next to John Bon Jovi, which has been, basically, my musical hero for my entire life.
And all other
goodness. So did you
20,000.
shake? Did you tremble? Or you just get a little dry mouth?
Yeah. So luckily I had a few drinks before because it was a very intense, high energy situation.
Yeah.
When you look out and there's 20,000 people and there's a microphone in front of you, that's probably hard enough on its own.
Yeah.
But then you look to the right and your hero's standing next to you telling you to sing.
Oh my
Heck yeah.
God.
So what'd you sing?
We did "Born to Be My Baby," which is off the New Jersey album
Yeah.
from 1988 when I was a wee lad. So I knew all the words, and it turned out pretty good. After that, I was like, you know what? I got to start making my own music. I got to start writing more music. I really miss performing.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome. What a good story.
That's a
well,
great story.
you
Now,
heard it
is
here.
You're fairly young, it looks like. So is this cell phone age where people get it on their cell phone?
Yep.
Okay.
It's all over the internet. I think that Tracy has a.
I have it. I just can't pull it
Oh
up.
my God! I'm
Has
gonna
a-
watch
has a
that.
video of
That's
it,
so cool.
Yeah,
How
a
about
lot
that?
of fun.
That's an awesome. Every musician has a different story, but that to me is like you said.
I want to know what happens at the end. You finish the song. Do you could just go back down? Do people mosh pit you and hold you on their hands?
There was some of that. I didn't try to run backstage. I tried to run out of the arena because the show was over after that, and I was in shock myself.
Yeah.
So we just kind of walked with a flock of people, like high.
Up there. What's
Yeah,
up?
it's- okay.
And walked over to
What's up?
Steelheads, had a couple drinks, met some people, shook some hands, and
Are you guys tight today? Like, can you text John?
no,
No.
I mean
Oh.
we're not that tight.
He's
now.
like, I'm not telling you. That's so funny. All right. Well, the question of the day before we find out whatever. First of all, let's find out where does everybody find you
Can we
for
follow?
music?
Are you playing sometime soon?
Yeah, so my Instagram and Facebook is at Bradley Music, BRADLEY. I also got a website which is bradley-music.com. Got a e-commerce store there for shirts and stickers
Perfect.
and things like that. So you can find that there. And then of course, the music's on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all that, and just the artist name Bradley is
Awesome. Where are you performing next?
we're trying to get that in line here now. We don't
Okay.
have a schedule yet, but we're probably going to be putting that out in the next couple of weeks. So,
Awesome.
Are you by yourself with an acoustic guitar, or are
well,
you in a band?
I play with a full band, so
Okay.
it's electric.
Okay.
It's not really acoustic performance.
Boogie,
So there's
woogie, woogie.
drummer and lead guitar players, and
Okay.
it can get loud.
All right. I like it. I like
All right,
it.
question of the day is the peep question. And I don't know. I must be John and I are the only two who just don't like them. So do you freeze them? Do you microwave them? What do you do to a peep, basically? or like you rip them apart and like plug things. Or,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
no,
like, it's like,
I'm not a Peep fan. I don't
No.
know that I ever have been. I could still taste, I feel the bite like as a little kid of
Yeah.
what, and
Yeah.
I just never liked it.
And here's my thing. It's reminiscent of Easter, which is great. You probably have great memories of whatever. But even for my kids, I never even put them in their baskets because I didn't like them. So my kids weren't going to like them. That's
Yeah.
how it was going to work out. All right. Well, I guess we're wrapping up.
Yeah, I was trying to find the ad, but you go ahead and read it. But while you look for the ad, we'll say thank you again to Bradley because he's going to play us out when you get here. Thanks to Rachel Carlson and Chris. Cool. Like we really are in the secret confines of Chris's candy
Confine, I love
store.
it. I love
And Rachel or Chris, before we go, do you want to point out anything else super cool on the table? Like kind of give us a Price is Right kind of deal? Is
Yeah,
there
I
any-
mean, it's more than candy. Look at the little trinkets and the little.
but these are nerds inside here.
Yeah, I know, but they
Right?
have little toys.
Okay.
I mean, literal John.
Chris, here, let's see here.
Hey, just come on down to Grandpa Joe's in the Strip District, or find your local Grandpa Joe's downtown Beaver, Mount Lebanon, or a brand new one in Cannonsburg, and come load up the kids' Easter baskets because even if the kids are 20, they're what? So don't disappoint your
That's a hashtag,
kids.
even if your kids are 20.
Yeah, just be ready. So load up on some cool Easter stuff. I
Is
think.
that our commercial? I think that's our commercial for today. Yeah. Honda, you know what's up. Thank you so much.
Yeah, all right. Bradley, you ready to play us out?
Yeah, I'll just
All right.
add that this next song is a new one. It's going to be out on my second EP called Heart. It comes out April 19th on all streaming platforms. Be 3 original songs, and then I do a cover of Pat Benatar's "We Belong" because she's being inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this month.
Is
So.
yes, that's a good point.
And so this is the deal when you're watching Brad down to Grandpa Joe's in this trip and go on and say, "Where's Chris, you Jagoff?" And let's see how many people
Wow,
do
that
that.
was a lot.
Right? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Bye, guys.
All right,
Have a good
Bradley,
weekend.
we need to mic you, right? All right, cool.
Yep. Ready? I was born somewhere I shouldn't be. Everyone was I knew I was different than before the age of 3. Those lights shine bright in that city proud. Thought that they could see their futures lied in the trust in God, working for their companies. You'll never know what I'm heading for, just because you've seen it all before. The promise lies in the life I live. Someday I'll be back for the other kids. I turned 18 and realized there's a whole world left to see. I packed my bags, I gotta run, left that life behind me. A little scared and a little shy, I grabbed my rosary. Is this real or did I die? Or am I stuck inside a dream? You'll never know what I'm heading for, just because you've seen it all before. The promise lies in the life I live. Someday I'll be back for the other kids. And maybe I just wasn't right, wasting so much time just staying up at night. There's a lot more left to say, but now I'm coming home to carry my own name. I'm done with playing games. I'll never know what I'm heading for. I just never felt like this before. My promise lies in the love I give. Someday I hope I show it to my kids. And we'll never know what we're heading for. That's because we've never been before.
Have a good rest of the weekend. That was awesome.